Hello everybody, welcome to Eternal Brews. My name is Pojo, and today we're looking at a Spellcraft list. We're going to be playing around with Horde Plunderer, the new legendary from Fall of Archenborn that gives all of our weapons Spellcraft for free. And I've taken a little bit of a unique take on this. We're building the standard Horde Plunderer deck, or well, there's no standard Horde Plunderer deck at the moment, but we're building a standard Horde Plunderer deck with a bunch of different really good Spellcraft weapons that have very good effects, such as Linebreaker's Shield, which casts Shield Bash, draws you a card, gives you some armor, stuns an enemy unit. Changeestik, which polymorphs things for a very expensive spellcraft. Vanquisher's Blade, which gives you, of course, Vanquish as a way to kill large units. And Gleaming Shield for the Mirror Image and Aegis combo. Combined with all of these, we are running a spell-less deck using the Jarrall Iceheart combination, where we essentially run a multitude of Jarrall Icehearts, and we try to draw 8 of the Hooru out of our deck. Because we only have 8 of the Hooru in the deck, it's the only spell in the deck. Now, if Jarrall hits the opposing player, Jarrall draws the top spell of your deck, which will always be 8 of the Hooru, and then he deals damage to each enemy unit equal to that spell's cost, which is, of course, 12 damage. If Jarrall has Overwhelm, then this gets pretty ridiculous very quickly. We essentially deal 12 damage to each unit with Overwhelm. The splash damage from that tends to be enough to kill our opponent outright, but even so, just board wiping our opponent with Jarrall Iceheart is the central goal here as our sort of finishing combo. It isn't necessarily the only way to win this game. In fact, we are actually doing a lot of stuff to win this game with cards other than Jarrall, but it is a side combo that we really like that happens to be a lot of fun, and every time we successfully execute on it, you know, it's just a delightful time, a huge explosion. That's something that we're all about here on Eternal Brews. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the deck and what it is that we're trying to do. Aside from the combo with Jarrall, we have our base 27 units, Copperhall Porter, to make sure that we have decent amounts of power available and to give us some decent access to like the power that we need to cast other stuff. Spire Chaplain for similar reasons. We want to draw power, we want to get ourselves up in power so that we have like some better options as far as the later game is concerned, and so we can cast cards like Changeestik, Deepforged Blade, Vanquisher's Blade without having too many issues. We're just getting some fixing in with our movers and shakers. Horde Plunderer gives us a Berserk ability as well as the Spellcraft for free. This is, of course, our primary bread and butter card. Every time that we get Spellcraft weapons, we are really happy to put weapons on Horde Plunderer, and then Horde Plunderer can Berserk and kill our opponent that way, which is always delightful. And finally, Genev Merchant, the 3/2 with Aegis. This is a really good carrier for any of our Spellcraft weapons since it has Aegis. And it also gives us the ability to look into our deck for other things that we might need. For example, we can grab the necessary combo piece, Jarrall. We can grab Backlash to keep the combo a bit more protected. We can grab Strategize to put the 8 of the Hoorus that we may have drawn back on the bottom of our deck, or just to look for other options. Vision of Austerity for enemy relics, and Hooru Banner for fixing power, which is going to be one of the most common pulls off of Genev Merchant, actually, just so that we can get the blue influence necessary to play Jarrall Iceheart. Iceberg Scattershot allows us to create and trigger Jarrall Iceheart, and Svetya, Orene of Kosul behaves really well with our Mirror Image card, Gleaming Shield, because that allows us to lock down our opponent, get us into a position of advantage, and then use those Spellcraft weapons to turn that position of advantage into a snowballing situation. Overall, the deck is designed around some sort of mid-rangey tempo stuff. We actually do tend to advance in tempo as we go along, but it has the combo at the end to sort of make things absolutely ridiculous. And then if things get completely out of hand, we can always try to hard cast 8 of the Hooru, which is usually a win con in some types of decks. It's a slower, value grindy type of deck with a very important combo in the middle. And yeah, let's go ahead and give it a run. Let's see if we can demonstrate how it works. See you guys in just a second. Alright, here we are up against Spory84. This is technically my game 2, the first game we ran into Hooru Pacifier, which is just, no, we can't do it. Crest of Fury and Crest of Order, we're going to go ahead and keep this. This deck can get very obviously meta-attacked by Hooru Pacifier, so do be very careful, because all of the spells are weapons. But if you don't encounter specific hate cards, then I think we'll be mostly okay. So we'll play Crest of Order here. Longbarrel seems like a pretty reasonable play. I think I like this overall. Like, we have Copperhall Porter to carry weapons. We can probably go ahead and grab this Longbarrel if you want to. Might be better to try and find some more power, seeing as we've got some 4-drops running up. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually look for more power. I like that Longbarrel, but I'd like to find a Horde Plunderer. I'd like to find some more things to actually make those cards a little better. Okay, Gleaming Shield is a pretty interesting unit in its own right. Svetya, Orene of Kosul is nice, but I'm now looking at 3 power, still haven't found my force, so we want to play a little bit more carefully and make sure that we actually get the power that we need. Alright, Dawnwalker's pretty likely to get eaten by Copperhall Porter, and there's Copperhall Porter indeed. Ada the Hooru goes on the bottom. We absolutely do not need it on the top of our deck. We want to draw that off of Jarrall later on. So yeah, we're looking pretty good here. We've got most of what we need. My opponent is actually unwilling to attack into Copperhall Porter. This is one of the reasons why Copperhall Porter is actually a really fun card, is because we can play it and often get like surprisingly good boards against our opponent. We're going to go ahead and play Geneb Merchant here would get me a banner, and I could just ditch Scattershot, which I think actually makes the most sense.
Something catch your eye.
So I could go for a banner, or I could go for Jarrall Iceheart. I don't have the power to cast Jarrall yet, so let's just grab the Hooru banner. That'll get us up to 5 power, and also get us an Aegis unit that we can stick Deepforged Blade on.
Strength be with you.
Alright, Warpainter is something else, something extra, I would say. With Hooru banner, I can put Deepforged Blade on this, and it'll have 7 health. My opponent only has 6 on the field, so this seems pretty reasonable. Let's go ahead and do it. And yeah, that Deepforged Blade actually does a lot with Geneb Merchant. It's really, really nice if we can actually put that on there, because Aegis units and just damage is exactly where we want to be. Now, in Brig Praxis, my opponent is going to be playing sort of big units to bring back to Dawnwalker. He's not going to be playing too many like actual direct damage spells, so it's going to be fairly hard for him to actually pop the Aegis and kill this unit. Maybe he'll find what he needs, but more likely just having a big 8/7 should be fine. Alright, so here I can go ahead and play Svetya to lock down spells before I attack in. That seems very fair to me.
You will suffer for what you have done.
And with that done, we can attack in with both these guys, since I actually do want the power off of Copperhall Porter, so we'll see if we get a block from Warpainter or just a little bit of free damage, exactly what we're looking for. Okay, Vanquisher's Blade is available to vanquish any sort of big things that we find. Praxis Displacer is a bit of a bummer because, yeah, obviously we would like to, you know, do other things, but that's okay because now we get to do our next thing, which is I can play Gleaming Shield and get a Mirror Image Svetya. I actually think I like that option better than going for Jarrall at this point, so let's go ahead and do it.
You will suffer for what you have done.
And I get to draw power off of Copperhall Porter or deal 2 more free damage, so feeling pretty good about that. Svetya can pull cards, she can pull Jarrall if I need to, although I don't need to because I have Geneb Merchants to trade in. So we're looking really good against this sort of a Praxis-y tokens deck with Warpainter. I'm actually not sure what this is. I think it's big Praxis, but it's just trying to find something that it doesn't seem to have.
Travels, friend.
Amber Acolyte, okay. That card is certainly fine once it's a little bit bigger. And with Time Sigils there,
together,
Living Example, looks like my opponent's trying to sort of get like lots of little buffs up, which makes like sense as an option.
Something catch your eye.
Okay, so Merchant here can pick up Strategize, can pick up Vision of Austerity for Xenon Obelisk. I can pick up Backlash to mess up my opponent's hand. I think I just want Jarrall Iceheart here. And I don't need to Vanquisher's Blade here. I think we just want to attack in with our 5/7 and our 4/4, get as many trades as possible. Alright, simple double trade for 1 Svetya. The bigger Svetya gets to live. And yeah, we get to deal a bunch of damage to him. So, looking good so far. Jarrall Iceheart will be our next play, and if we can get that down, then we can do whatever we want. Should be great. I actually could have played Geneb Merchant to get the Iceberg Scattershot, which might be the way to get my like final bit of like awesomeness going.
You cannot put out the light.
Yeah, I kind of like it. So, well, we've got 2 options here, and I think both of them are pretty close to lethal. Let's go ahead and go for a Geneb Merchant.
Something catch your eye.
I'm going to swap for Copperhall Porter, and then I'm going to grab Oh, I can't grab that Iceberg Scattershot anymore. That's fair enough. Let's go ahead and grab the Backlash here, because that's going to be pretty useful. And then we will put Vanquish on this, kill the Sandworm. And also get the Initiate in the bargain. Now I've got Backlash as lethal, and I've got tons of units available, so we're looking pretty good there. Like, this looks like a pretty good deal for us, and we should be able to play Jarrall, Backlash, and be good to go. Granite Waystone, nothing much happening there. Sandworm, that's totally fine. Reliquary Raider, that card offers him some life gain, which I'm not super fond of, but we'll see if we can make it work. Okay, so we're stuck in a bit of a stall, but I still have Backlash, so as long as he plays a spell, we just win. There we go. Got him. Alright, pretty simple stuff. Pretty fun game overall. And let's see if we can play a couple more. Alright, here we are. Crest of Order, Cobalt Waystone, and Cobalt Waystone. Looks like... yeah, this hand is perfectly playable. We get Horde Plunderer for once, which is the card that we most definitely want. So, yeah, as a game 3, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see what we can do. A little bit of a Crest, followed by a little bit of Crest for me. And Granite Waystone picks up some fire. I need double fire to make Horde Plunderer cast Piercing Shot. And Piercing Shot on Horde Plunderer is actually a really good like sort of opener with Horde Plunderer, if we can run that. Alright, so we're seeing some Xenon with Cull the deck, looking for new cards, trying to get some new stuff happening. I'm going to go ahead and play down my Copperhall Porter, because that gives me the opportunity to get some green advancement. And then we can play Horde Plunderer, either hard cast it, or just sort of stay put and try to go with a later Horde Plunderer, which is usually my bag. I think this looks pretty fine for a tempo play, so let's go ahead and attack for 2. I'll just play Horde Plunderer. If it gets suffocated or annihilated, that's fine. If it doesn't, then we've got free Vanquisher's Blade, we've got free Changeestik. We can make some bad things happen. Alright, odds are whatever that is probably scary. Maybe it's a Suffocate. We'll see. Looks like... nope, not so much. Crest of Order gives me Vanquisher's Blade, which I don't need at the moment, and I can also play that for 5 after Horde Plunderer dies, so... we feel pretty comfy just sort of digging. Crest of Order I don't really need right now. I'm going to polymorph that. An attack for just 4 this turn. Now I've got a 3/2 flyer, which, as we've mentioned before, this card is actually like net neutral if it's carrying a weapon. Like, if they kill it with something, fine. If they don't, then, well, we get some cool benefits out of it. Iceberg Scattershot's pretty cool. Longbarrel's pretty cool if I can play that. I don't have the ability to play it right now, it looks like, so we're probably just going to go... I could attack with Svetya, or I could throw Vanquisher's Blade on something. I think we would just want to, like, use Svetya, lock down any spells, and then attack in with our Copperhall Porter, see if we get the 3/3. If we do, we get a Justice Sigil to cast, which is really nice, and if we don't, then, you know, it's fine either way. Okay, so we'll play our Waystone, get ourselves a Face Aegis, and now I've got Iceberg Scattershot as a play, and I can put Vanquisher's Blade on something to kill a big unit, which looks like he might be trying to cast one.
What are you gonna do about it?
Okay, discarding an Archimport Ringmaster that costs 4. Wow. The dream is real, huh? This is a Haunting Scream deck that wants to get Archimport Ringmaster back. He doesn't have any deadly units right now, so it's not the worst thing in the world that happened, but still something that I would rather avoid. Let's go ahead and throw in another Svetya. Keep locking down his spells for as long as we can, and we'll attack for 4 here. Alright, Vanquisher's Blade will get us some damage in. Longbarrel would be really nice to play if we can play it, and Iceberg Scattershot will be the other play that we can play. So yeah, let's go ahead and do Iceberg Scattershot. Looks like he's got some fast spell responses, that kind of thing. Vanquisher's Blade here would get me Horde Plunderer, which I don't think I want that. I think I need to basically be able to kill the Archimport Ringmaster. This is going to get really, really weird. If he actually gets the combo going, this is going to get very rough. Damage, damage, damage. We no longer have access to... Like, I'm really worried that it's going to be basically just Annihilate or some sort of Death Strike ability into Haunting Scream. Once that happens, Ringmaster gets back a pretty decent amount of stuff off of me. Okay, the Sabotage sucks. The Haunting Scream sucks, but, like, it's a Copperhall Porter. We'll live.
It's showtime!
The real problem is what happens after that. So let's see what we can do. Permafrost on the 4/4. That doesn't kill the 4/4, so we're actually okay. This was really interesting to see regardless. Let's go ahead and get Genev Merchant.
Something catch your eye.
I'm going to trade Vanquisher's Blade for Jarrall Iceheart here. Because that is definitely the card I want with an Iceberg Scattershot down. And then we'll attack for 4. You get to draw a Justice Sigil, I guess. Stuff is happening. Now, Jarrall can't get the Longbarrel trigger off of Iceberg Scattershot, so that's a little bit rough, but I'd say overall we're feeling pretty happy about our lives. Okay, Argenport Ringmaster's back. That's fine, we're going to clear it in just a second here. It's probably going to deal some damage to me in the process, though.
What are you gonna do about it?
Sabotage, that's fine. So do I wait for Ringmaster, or do I swing in here right now? Oh, I've got lethal, so we're just going to swing in here right now. Jarrall Iceheart, deal 12 damage to all of his units.
Ours, and now it is done.
And the only card he's got left is Argenport Ringmaster, so fun police have arrived. There we go. Looking good, looking good. And that's the kind of combo that we're generally going to get off of this deck. If you get the full Overwhelm, like one-hit KO, awesome. But basically what we're looking for is that one-sided Wrath combined with some minor tempo development to just get a really surprise lethal. And it works out pretty well most of the time. Like, this deck has surprisingly high success rate for what it is. It's still a little bit janky, but I really do like it quite a bit. Let's play another round, see what we can do. Alright, game 3. We're up against Pork Rain, Crest of Order, Hooru Banner, Justice Sigil, Copperhall Porter, and Linebreaker Shield. Yeah, let's see here. I think we're probably going to go ahead and go... Yeah, this looks fine. I think this looks pretty reasonable. Copperhall Porter is always a good starter because it is I just really like this card for how well it sticks and is able to carry weapons. It's surprisingly effective. Anyways, Granite and Drone here getting thrown down. Crest of Order looks great, and Granite Waystone gives us a little bit of fire, which is what I need to play Jarrall Iceheart eventually. So yeah, we're looking okay. I do need more blue sources for Jarrall, but if I have those in Scattershot, then we can probably generate a pretty sweet board. So let's keep looking. All right, my opponent's playing Grenadins. Oh, he's playing very aggressive Grenadins. Okay. So we got, whoa. Oh man. The odds on that are not good, but they actually significantly increase his odds of winning now. So yeah, we're gonna have to play a Justice Sigil or a Granite Waystone here. I think Granite Waystone, since we want fire and we want Justice. And this way we can hide the Justice Sigils that we're gonna get from blocking. So yeah, a little bit rough. I could play Linebreaker Shield immediately and just get a blocking unit, but odds are pretty good this deck is running Torch, so I don't want to put a weapon on Copperhall Porter in this scenario. I just want to do the blocks, get the damage. Gotta take some face damage here, which is a bit unfortunate, but it means he can't pop it later for a big burn spell, so we'll see if we can make it work. Hey, Genev Merchant. That is definitely a card that I want right now. So let's go ahead and play it down.
Something catch your eye.
I'm going to exchange, I think, Copperhall Porter for something. Could do Scattershot, but no. Now we just need the blue source, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of... Oh, I actually should have exchanged the Justice Sigil. I could have just played Copperhall Porter and gotten Justice that way. I need this blue source for Jarrall, so we'll go ahead and play that. And now I've got 6 blue sources. I have plenty of defense, and Linebreaker Shield is going to get me some life and a stun, which are all things that I need. Wow, going super hard for face here. Alright. They must have something good, but we're gonna see if we can stop them. Well, maybe they don't have anything good. Maybe they're just going for fire bombs. Alright, well, we gotta be super careful here, but let's go ahead and play Scattershot. I don't really need to have Scattershot out to get the Jarrall Iceheart combo. Like, we can play defensive for a little bit longer. I feel like every point of damage is going to count, though. Yeah, let's just block all the Granite in. Like, this is super aggressive, so shouldn't matter too much. We're just going to take the damage, worry about Light the Fuse, but not that much, and then play Crest of Fury here. Vanquisher's Blade is... I mean, it's not a fire card, so I think we're down. We could... Yeah, like, we would just want to not draw fire bombs is the main thing. If I can play Linebreaker Shield, then excellent. Let's get Jarrall here. That's another firebomb, which is not amazing, but I think we're going to be pretty okay with it. Linebreaker Shield on Jarrall is what we need to draw 8 of the Hooru and blow everything out. So that also gets us 2 life, which is helpful for, you know, not dying to firebomb, which is very much what we want to do. Alright, so we Linebreaker Shield. Get our armor. Polymorph is pretty cool here because we can actually get rid of some other scary stuff. So let's play the Vanquisher's Blade on Jarrall still, actually. Just attack for 10 and 3. Then we draw our 8 of the Hooru.
Now it is done.
Oh. I forgot that that could happen. Oh boy. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that being a spell. That's great. He deserved that win. All right. All right, here we are in game 3. We're up against Mason, and opening hand looks reasonable, but probably not super playable. I like the Spire Chaplains there, but there's not enough power to actually cast them, so we want to try and find a 3 or 4 power hand. This looks a little better. Spire Chaplain allows us to play out more power, get ourselves up to the bigger like Spellcraft costs, and is also just kind of like a nice like early-ish unit, so we like this card a bit. All right, Crest of Fury there is probably the lead. Another good card in this slot is the 3-cost Aegis 3/3 Kosul Battle Mage. We're using Spire Chaplains because I just need power a lot pretty frequently, so it's nice to have just a regular 3/3 for that. And it also draws a little bit more attention away from cards like Horde Plunderer, which tend to really sort of raise the bar on what it is that we're looking for. Okay, so if I get a fire source, then I'll be able to play Horde Plunderer pretty much on time, which is good stuff. Geneva Merchant. Looks lovely. Alright. And then we go ahead and play the Spire Chaplain there.
I bring word.
Okay, so I'd like to play Horde Plunderer into Changeestik at some point. We're just going to basically go for pretty slow burn. We're going to draw our power. We're going to do everything we can to just sort of be kind of aggressive here and get our value out. And then, like, once that happens, we have the ability to play Horde Plunderer into Longbarrels and get, like, a pile of stuff out all at once, which is a good way to kill these Aegis units and get some better benefits. Don't need another Spire Chaplain, so we'll just draw our Justice Sigil here. And yeah, got a cool opener here, which is Horde Plunderer, Longbarrel, kill that 3/2 and get myself some damage.
A rare sight indeed.
Nocturnal Observer. That card is something that we would like to kill, certainly. Oh, that looks like a Grasping at Shadows play. If I can find Vanquisher's Blade, that would be ideal. But if I can't, we've got other options. Ooh, Svetya Orene of Kosul is actually the best one. So let's attack for 3 here. Cool. And then we'll play a Svetya.
You will suffer for what you have done.
Justice Sigil here, and I really want to play Gleaming Shield with the Spellcraft. I can't actually manage that with Horde Plunderer, so unless I had the ability to play Horde Plunderer as well, we probably won't be able to stop the grasping at shadows next turn, but we did stop it this turn, and that's important.
The spirits speak it so.
Alright, a Seek Power gone for a second sight. I've still got a decent amount of damage here, so that's pretty good for me. Gleaming Shield will allow me to play Aegis on things. I would like to have answers to Ikaria as soon as possible, but we also have to be kind of careful about how we're proceeding. It's going to get a little bit weird. Discarding a Herald Song, that's fine. Oh, it's beautiful. It's actually perfect. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do Horde Plunderer. Put the Longbarrel on the Plunderer. Okay, Second Sight is not a removal spell, so that's something. At this point, removal spells are Clan Tactic, other stuff like that. I'm going to put the Vanquisher's Blade on Svetya so that Ikaria can't come back from the void. And we'll just attack for 6. Alright! And that means no Ikaria out of the void. We feel pretty happy with that result. Like, this deck is doing basically exactly what we want it to, and next turn I can Gleaming Shield or do something nonsensical. Unless he has Harsh Rule as well, in which case, yeah, we're in a bit of trouble. I need to... If I had this Granite Waystone, I could put the Granite Waystone down, put a Vanquisher's Blade on that. As it stands, it looks like next turn is probably Grasping at Shadows into Ikaria. That's a bit of a bummer. We got pretty close, but Harsh Rule was definitely the answer there. Alright, so swings for 5. If I can get another Horde Plunderer, that's ideal. Horde Plunderer into Longbarrel into Vanquisher's Blade is definitely where we want to be. Oh, perfect.
It's all mine.
Tempting to attack with Changeestik as well, but sadly, not a thing we can do. Alright. Got another Harsh Roll, got another Vanquish. Answer the call. Okay, I don't like that. Rhyme Scale Draconis is pretty rough, but we're fine.
The spirits speak it so.
Important Reader's pretty scary, but we're still fine. Alright, let's go ahead and do a copy of Horde Plunderer. Changeestik, polymorph the Rhyme Scale Draconis. And this guy's still carrying Vanquisher's Blade, so we locked Grasping at Shadows out. Dang, this was a good game. I think we've got him now. So we kill that, get the overwhelm damage, another 7 in the face, and then I've got a 7/10 Aegis that's locking out his Grasping at Shadows stuff. And this is the strength of the Horde Plunderer deck, is that we've actually got a solid base now for the Jarrall Iceheart cards. Like, we don't care as much about what he's pulling out because we have answers of our own.
Rise up or be
Another
cut
Ikaria is a
down.
big deal, but it's not the end of the world. Like, we probably just attack
The
through it and
spirits
get everything that
speak
we
it
need.
so.
Alright, go ahead and do that. Second Sight is Second Sight, and attacking for 5 gets you, of course, the War Cries and stuff. Spire Chaplain, that's not helping me very much. I think I just attack in for the full amount. I'm going to get 1 point of Overwhelm. We should go Berserk because that could lead to lethal. I think we're going to be 1 short. Oh, you forgot about Overwhelm, so yeah. Gotta remember that Overwhelm. Alright. And that's the game. That was a really, really good one. That's it for today's list. In terms of competitive viability, I don't know if that's there yet. I think it's probably, you know, it's middle of the road. I can do actually pretty even in gold and diamond, which I've had feeling